Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Antoinette here. Now, everyone is doing the Deacon walk. And many are using the book by Suzanne Chang, which I do actually have, but I haven't read. So I thought, why don't I just see what all the hype is about and what everyone's doing, and maybe see if I want to join in. However, as always, because I'm not, I don't have a lot of time to soak up lots of information at the moment. So I thought maybe I'll try it out playing and see if I get a visual hit on what's going on. Now, I don't know if what I'm going to do is going to work, but by all means, have a look, see what you think, and then tell us about how you are kind of making this your own journey rather than just a book walkthrough. So as I said, 36 Secrets, a Decanic Journey Through the Minor Arcana of the Tarot by T. Susan Chang, available on Amazon. And in here, she gives you a deacon wheel, which links to, so you can see that you've got the astrological symbols here. Then you have, they're split up into kind of segments, which would be your deacons, so 3 segments. And they have their own corresponding tarot card, which are from the minors. And you have dates here to correspond to the minors. And then you have court cards that represent what's going on. So you have, so for instance, this set of 3 that I'm kind of pointing to here, the court card that goes with that is the Knight or Princess of Pentacles. The one that actually goes through for the whole sort of 3 signs here, because it's split into quarters or quadrants, is the Page or Princess of Pentacles, which would be kind of the representation of the suit that you're using of the court cards. And then around the outside, again, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace and the Page are kind of representative of the suit, and they kind of span the whole part here. And you do get some cards like the Queen's coming out of one tarot suit and court into another. So just as you go around, you can see that happening. Now, I don't know a lot about this. I haven't given it a lot of study. As I say, I'm just going to kind of jump right in and see what my intuition brings to the table with this. So we are starting, just got to come around and find it. So this started on the equinox, the spring equinox, 21st. And it is the 2 of Wands is the court card that we're using. We are in the sign of Aries as well, which happened to start there. And we have the sign for the Emperor on our 2 of Wands. So we have our astrological sign, we have a major, a minor, we are with the Queen of Wands in the suit or influence of the Pentacles suit, really. So we have the Page of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles. Very complicated, isn't it? And I did have a little like squiz through this, and actually it was so complicated I genuinely couldn't take it in, because I've got too much going on in my brain right now to be able to thoroughly engage in what's happening here. But I did have a little look. I have seen a couple of YouTube videos, because, you know, you can watch those while you're doing other things or listen to them while you're doing other things. But what it does do when you get into this book is it tells you. So we start with the Seeds of Dominion. And the first card out is the 2 of Wands, not the Aces, as I've explained, because they run the whole suit that we're going to go through. And the 2 of Wands has the corresponding cards. So it actually corresponds to the Emperor. And I believe, if I'm correct, the planetary ruler is Mars, which is the Tower. And that's why we have the Emperor, because the Emperor comes under Mars. So we have Lord of Dominion, the Tower, and the Emperor. So I don't know. Just looking now, I'm not sure if we're calling the 2 of Wands the Lord of Dominion, because we started up here with Seeds of Dominion. So I'm, like I say, really not sure. Haven't read a lot into this, but if you know, please like drop the comments in below and let others learn from what you know. But I'm literally jumping in, doing my own thing and seeing what links into what's going on with this kind of deacon walk, and see what I get from it from my perspective. Because, you know, I just can't do things like everyone else. I'm not going to read out everything here, because obviously that's not fair, but we already have here Mars rules the first deacon of his nocturnal domicile sign, Scorpio, and the 5 of Cups, as well as the Emperor and the Tower, then I'm guessing. So there is lots of stuff, lots of information, words and things that I'm not familiar with in this context, therefore I'm not going to attempt to paraphrase anything. We have the Tower and the Emperor, the two major arcana associated with the Two of Wands. Clearly illustrates its themes. Let's not mince words. The Tower is a phallic symbol and a testament to the maleness of Mars. So the Tower does link to Mars. The Tower can be radical eviction of the old order or the volcanic eruption of the seed of climax, hence its phallic symbol. In some versions of the Tower fable story, God splits the tongues of humanity to save us to return to a tension of working together. So cooperative agriculture to the survival of the species. And then it goes on and on and on there. So again, I'm not going to give out too much of the book because it's not mine to share. We've got a bit here talking about the Two of Wands in every day. What do we have here? The takeaway, and we have a Dylan Thomas extract here. Mars and the sign of Aries in particular is associated with the head. Oh, interesting. So that changes something that I will bring to the table in a minute, if I remember to even refer back to that. When you draw the Two of Wands, seize your courage in both hands and strike it. And strike. If there is ever a time for bold plan of action, it's now. Steel yourself to the task. Remember, the longest journey begins with the singlest decisive step. Old worlds end and new ones begin at the self-same moment. Okay, and then you'll go on to the next part of the decanic walk, which would be the Three of Wands, and that one starts March 30th, 31st, and will end April 8th, 9th, somewhere around there. And then you can see that we have the Sun with the Three of Wands and the Emperor card, which remains because we are in the sign of Aries. So there's our astrological sign. Then we have our new card and the corresponding card as well there. So you can see a little bit of how it's going to go. This book looks fairly comprehensive. It does look a bit complicated, really, for me. But it's obviously invaluable with the fact that it goes through the cards there, so I know what I'm looking at. But I think looking at this, you could possibly do it if you don't want the prompts in the book. You could possibly do this just by Googling one of these 36 decans with the corresponding minor arcanas from, you know, a site that you can download for free. I think there are actually quite a few out and about. So you could always, you know, just get yourself something and then just follow that wheel, because it looks like all the information genuinely is in that wheel, and then what you add will be what you get. Now, I do have the this book, and no, this is not the only book you'll ever need. You're going to need far more than this, but I bought this for a book study that I did somewhere else, and then kind of really quickly realised that it wasn't quite what I wanted. So in here, it's a good starting point, I will give it that. It's got lots of information. It does talk about decans. It talks about astrology really in depth, and again, more than I've perhaps wanted to know in some aspects. And this is also designed to help you plot your own graphs if you haven't got yourself a free one from the Astro Cafe, or is it Tarot? No, it must be Astrology Cafe, where you can download just a free chart to know where your moon and rising and sun and planets were when you were born. So this helps you do that, and it also goes through and talks about the star signs or astrological signs as you go through, and talks about ascendants, descendants. There is lots of information in here, and at the back here is where, like, you know, the kind of magic happens. Is where it gives you charts so that you can find what was in what at what time, date, what year, and it goes back. It goes all the way up to I don't even know what we call that, 2100, I guess. 2100. So it's going to be around for many years. You have explanations of terms, and it does all of your charts back there, by the way. So it's got like loads of moon, because the moon's moved so many times. You've got your moon cycles, and it's got like your planets. So you've got your Mercury's, Jupiter's, Venus's, Mars, and it goes through all of those. So you can find them all, like I said, and, you know, just jot them all down so you know what was going on. And then there's a nice index there at the back. So an explanation of terms is in here. Going through the ages that we've already passed through. So we've got, you know, the age of Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus. I think we're heading to the age of Aquarius, aren't we? We've got, so that's astrology in our time. And then we have here a little bit of explanation about some of the star signs, kind of like broken down into brief, which I thought was quite nice. I like it when it comes down to bits like this because it's just easier to deal with. So you have your 12 zodiacs and the legends behind each zodiac on this bit. And here we have Aries and the Ram. So there's a bit of legend behind that astrological star sign. And yeah, plenty of other tidbits and information, teach you how to chart your planets and houses and work through all of the good stuff. So that's the only astrology book you'll ever need by Joanna Martin Wolfcock. Again, I think I got that one on Amazon. But here's the one that I use most of my life. So I already know I'm in the new moon of Aries. It started on the 21st of March because this is my moon diary from the Flickering Cauldron. And that's why I have it, so I can follow these things. And then on my pages, so of course this is my tarot journal. So on my pages, here's my new moon. So I knew about that one. I knew that we were under Aries. This is basically on Tuesday of this month, this year, 2023, is when this decanic walk sort of started. But because it lasts for 10 days, I don't feel bad about picking it up kind of now, really, because I didn't have time to look at it back then. And with this one, what it tells me as we go through, although we're in Aries, it also tells me as the moon moves through other signs, because the moon moves a lot quicker. So I am well aware that we are now in, where are we? So Saturday. So the moon is currently in Taurus, just from a moony perspective, under the sign of Aries. So that's just something that I, kind of like to sort of check out, look at, follow. Can't tell you what I'm doing with it. It's just like one of those intuitive things that you absorb and do. So that's where we are here. So new moon, Aries. So that's my starting point. So with the decanic journey, I've already told you now, we are looking at the Two of Wands under Aries with Mars. So that said, I wanted to know, what do the cards look like and how do they influence what's going on? Here's where I'm playing now. I'm completely out of my depth with using any of these words, but I'm having a go. So I got out loads of decks just to see what's going on. So I've pulled out my, what ones are these? Where is my deck? So I pulled out my Astro Codes book because I think this is a really nice deck. And I had plans to use it just to sit on my desk and run through the cards and follow them as they go and follow the moons and things. So Decanic walk, perfect. I'm going to see if I can do this and see if I can follow the moons as we journey through the deck. So we know that we have a moon. So I got a moon card out and I just popped it on the side. We are aware that we are in Aries. So I have a card for Aries. And with Aries, I wanted to look at the different types of Aries in tarot. So I have an RWS, Emperor, standard Emperor. Sorry about the gloss on that one. I don't think, can I? Maybe just, we'll do that. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without Thoth. So we have the Thoth Emperor. And I just want to point out on here that this has the Aries, so you have your astrological sign on there. And I believe these also hold the planetary elements on them somewhere too, but the colouring kind of gives it away that it's fiery, so it gives away a spot of Mars in there as well, really, I think, with the colour. And then I have another Thoth inspired deck, and here is my Emperor for that one. And this deck is gorgeous. I absolutely love this deck. It's the size mainly. You can see we're going down in size. And this is my Triumph's Pip Parade. It's on Etsy. I can't remember if it's under Gazellum or Order of Allman or Allman Tarot. But if you pop in Triumph's Pip Parade Tarot, make sure you put the word tarot in, and then the Etsy page will come up for that on Google. But I love this deck. So we have, that's where I got to here. And then Mars. I happen to have a card for Mars. So why not? Let's pop that into the picture as well. Play with Mars. So I've just popped Mars up there. So here's what we can see what's going on in the sky. So we had a new moon, we have Aries, and we have Mars. And then I did mention there was a you know, what's ruling all of this, and that happens to be the Tower. So we have the Tower. I don't know if I'm going to run out of room, so I'm just going to keep playing with all of this. The Tower. And with this, you can actually, another point to me doing this is to see the difference in the cards. And then I have the Tower. And you can see we have the sign for the Emperor on this one. So there we are. But what am I missing? I am missing the card for the decanic walk of the moment. So let's just shove that in the middle. So we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. And you can see this one actually calls itself Dominion. So you'll notice that that was one of the words used in the book, was the Dominion of Seeds, or Seeds of Dominion. And there we have our sign for Aries, and there we have our sign for the Emperor on this card. And then I have my Two of Wands. So there we go. That's as far as I got. And I was just like, okay. Now I did mention other things happening in that wheel, didn't I? I said that it was circling by the Queen of Wands. So if I just pop her down here, this is going to get very, very complicated very quickly. I can see that. So we have our Queen of Wands and Queen of Wands. Okay. And she was being followed by, what have I got here? I think I've got too many cards out. Hang on. So she was being followed by our Ace of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. And our Ace of Pentacles, which is here. And this is my Page of Pentacles, by the way. This sign is the page. And then I have my Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So here we have an awful lot going on. I mean, a lot. On top of this, what did I want to do? I wanted to see what herbs go together. So the herbs for Mars or Aries. I don't know if you can see here. So we have our signs again. So I've got my signs. I've got nettle and milk thistle. There was a third, I can't remember what it was, but I really don't use it, so I haven't pulled it out. So I've pulled out some herbs to go with all of this, just to see what's going on. So I have my nettle and milk thistle over here. And these are from the Herbal Astrology Oracle. So you can see I already had a lot of astrology stuff going on, and I thought this is going to be the perfect time to play with it all. Now, what else can you do with this? So what you can do is link into other things, I decided. So I have the 7 energies oracle cards, or you might have chakra cards. So I was like, okay, 7 energies. So in this set, so I've gone with fire because we are in the place of fire. This is Colette Baron Reed's one. And I've pulled out the 7 energies here. So we have a powerful move, the royal you, the storyteller, power of purpose, waking the lion, a merry motive, and exposed and revealed. But the question is, which one goes with this? At this point, I don't know. I think it might just be you shuffle and pull one. Or do you pull the one that looks most appropriate colour-wise? So to me, it was waking the lion. Merry motive, exposed and reveal. Storyteller, powerful purpose, or waking the lion maybe. The royal you. I feel like it's one of them two, to be honest. So I feel like it's going to be one of these two that kind of adds to this whole story. Because Aries always has a powerful purpose, and Mars is very fiery and strong and protective. So I got that far, and then I was like, oh, do you know, you could probably link the planets to anything you want to, depending on what decks you have at home. So I thought, well, what about angels? Okay, let's have a look at the angels. So I don't have a guardian, or I don't have an angel per se deck. I don't think I have an angel deck. hold that thought 1 second. No, I was just checking. I do have the Fallen Angel Oracle, but it's not going to be quite the Angel Oracle that you're looking for. So it just has names, keywords, but it doesn't have what you're probably... They do link to elements. Yeah, you probably could use it. It's probably unfair, so you probably could use this, but I don't think I can simply explain this deck with this spread at this point. But there is that one, so it might work. It might work. So what else did I do? So yeah, talking about angels. So I only have, or the one I've pulled out is Angel and Ancestors Guidebook Oracle deck, and linking into. So I've pulled out the Fire Guardian because it doesn't have. They're not actually named, but the archangel for Aries would be Ariel. So I had pulled out Fire Guardian to link in with Mars, Fire Energy, the Emperor. So I've pulled out a Guardian there. So I popped a Guardian card into this whole spread with our Power of Purpose. And then we are in spring. So I pulled out a spring card, just as I did a moon card, because we have seasons in the deck. And then I pulled out the mountains for Stand Your Ground because, I don't know, it just felt appropriate to pull out the deck, again, as a symbol. And colour-wise, they kind of match quite nicely, actually. So yeah, so that's what I did. And then I was like, oh, what else can I play with in this spread? Perfect, I know. Let's do the moon phases. So I pulled out my Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And this I've put back into order, completely back into order. Here. So starting on the new moon, which was the 21st, okay? So we are now through the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, today is the 25th. We're now on to self-love. And it goes through the phases. So tomorrow we'll be into nourishment. So we're on self-love, which is the waxing crescent 4. It tells you self-love. So I'm just going to pop that down on top of my moon card so that I know that we're in a phase of self-love under Aries with the Power of Purpose, Fire Guardian, Spring and Mountains in the wake. We have the influence of Mars, passion, fire. This to me would be solar plexus, fire energy. And then we have decisions with the 2 of Wands coming down here. We have our Queen of Wands, so spirituality, intuition, drive, passion is all here. We have the Emperor over here, so we have all our fire energy, and we have our knowing what you want, like being dead set on what you want, having an idea. And then over here with the Tower, changing it up. So we know what we want, but we've got to change things in order to get there. And with the kind of drive of Aries and that kind of steadfastness, not really one to shy away from a challenge. So we've got that. Then I've got down here, so we have our Page of Pentacles and our Ace of Pentacles. So I might be actually driving for something that links into finances, home, health. So it's going to be something materialistic that I'm looking at within this, perhaps for self-love. So materialistic self-love wise might be that I actually choose to do something for myself. Perhaps I'm going to be a little bit selfish, and maybe I'm going to pick out, I don't know, some time for myself, and like I like to do, have a nice soak in a bath, light some candles. That'll bring the fire element in here. Or perhaps I'm going to do something for my health, So self-love can be multiple of things. It could also be doing something that you need in order to fulfill what you kind of need in your life. And that could be joining up with people. It could be making decisions to cut dead wood loose. And then, as I said, to bring into all of this, I added some herbal astrology. So I've got the nettle, which is for action, and I have the milk thistle, which is peaceful warrior, interestingly. Card 22, the one in between, is the one that I haven't pulled out, because I think it was something that has absolutely nothing to do with this part of the world for me. So it just doesn't even fit into anything that I would use it for. But milk thistle and nettle I would use. This one in a tincture, this one because it grows in my garden. So yes, I've dropped those out as well. And both of those to me are about protection as well. So there's like kind of a weird overview. I mean, I don't know what you can see happening here, but I just wanted to pull one other deck on top of all of this, and this is the Star Tarot, which is this one, which comes in a box, big box, big kit. The book is absolutely amazing. I recommend that book to all of you. And then with this one, I pulled the cards again, and you can see a difference. So here's my Ace of Pentacles. Now there's a crossover of what's happening. So I have a cross between the Thoth Tarot happening here and sort of the Rider-Waite-esqueness of it all. So I can see quite clearly we have a tree. I can see its earthy element. Then I can see that we have some other elements in there as well. So we have the Ace of Pentacles for the where we're at with the motion of the deacons. I have my Two of Wands, and I found that really interesting that it actually has the wheel in here, that we're starting with the deacons, and there's the wheel. So we have that. Which I'll pop up here. We have our Queen of Wands, so she's very clearly, so she has a lion and a leopard. And what I like about the leopard, to me, he looks like he's made up of stars or the galaxies. So that really does bring in that kind of spiritual, outside of this kind of planet influence, really. And then we can have, like, you can see sort of fiery elements here. We have the sunflowers, but yeah, really nice card. And there's a moon, or to me that's the moon up in the sky with her, so I liked that one. And then the Emperor, so really different Emperor from the ones that we've seen so far. And we have I like the balance there. We have the moon, the sun, the star, and that kind of black bit in the middle I would almost call a void. We have the balance here with the duality of the darkness and light again. And kind of taming, so we have a lion instead of the ram's heads, or in some pictures you see a dog sat by his feet. So yeah, so I really like that. And you're about to hear my dog's getting fed, I do apologise. And then we have the Tower, and I like the fact that we have a dove of peace at the bottom. And you can see we have things kind of breaking out of this, but this one's like a volcano, so that eruption that I talked about right at the very beginning when I was reading out the book, if anyone remembers. So there's that one going on there. Now, what else was it I was going to come back to and talk about? I can't remember, it's completely escaped me, so if I've forgotten about it, I'm sorry. I know there was something that I pointed out in the book. Was it the moon phases? And that's where I am over here, I think, with the moon phases. The fact that I brought in kind of guardians, angels, and the chakras, for those of you that wanted to bring in something different. With the astrology cards, what I've done is I've put them in order, and I will go through these now. So the next decan that we move into is Taurus, and Taurus is cultivate. Aries is act. Sorry, I didn't say that, did I? And Mars is motion. So I will just go through these. So I've put the whole deck back into order instead of using it as an oracle deck. So I can just flip through these as I go. And then I have my planets here as well. So the next one will be Mercury, which is messages, and then we'll move into Venus with beloved, and so on and so on. And right at the back I have the houses. Now Aries' house is the first house as we go around the wheel. So the first house is arrival, so I could actually put that down as well. So we are Aries, first house, arrival, with power, fire guardian. We're into self-love. Yeah, so lots going on, and I don't know, in my jumbled brain this seemed easier than reading the book, but I think for you guys, you might be looking at that and thinking, what on earth has she put down on the deck there? But just having a little look through it, it was just, obviously when I'm doing this for myself, I'm not going to put out 5 decks of the same thing. Well, at least I don't think I am. Who knows? I don't think I can add any more to my astrology herbs unless I buy the other astrology deck, which I wish I'd bought to start with over this one. Who knows, that might happen. But I can easily swap out the decks I'm using. So I probably won't be using the Rider-Waite, actually. I might take out the Rider-Waite and just drop in my Star Tarot. I won't always be using my Triumphs. I'll probably just put the Thoth out. So yes, I might just stick between those 2 decks for that. The rest might stay the same though. There's still an awful lot going on here. Yeah, anyway, this is me starting my deacon walk without a clue of what I'm doing, and hoping that at some point it's going to click and twig, and all of this is just going to kind of like link in, and I'm going to start spotting how to match all these things in and out of each other and recognizing the symbols. I think that's what I'm doing. Intuitively, I think I'm trying to lay them out, and I'm trying to spot the symbols in the cards, recognize them and link them to a visual representation, because I'm a visual learner more than I am an academic learner, to be honest. I like to see things and see what's going on. Okay, I can't talk anymore about something I don't know enough about. So I hope I'm inspiring you at least to pick up your decks, lay them out, have a go, and add to it. Because one other thing I didn't say is you could put deity on top of this. I could have gone and got a goddess deck out and seen what goddesses or gods related to this, apart from, you know, the god of Mars, war, the god of war. So you could have then, I suppose, added on to that. Actually, you could have added on to that, depending on what pantheon you're looking at. Pull out a god for war and drop them down on the floor. And in that case, I guess that might be Aries, Ariel. Anyway, but there's plenty of others out there in different pantheons. So, yep, okay, take care. I will see you if I decide to do another one. Bye-bye.